Wow, 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 wow. Yes, indeed. Mhm. Value. Yeah, man. This is your boy, the ball and Rasta. And we know that each year our favorite platform changes and makes new algorithm because they want value for the people which is right. After I teach somebody something they never know, something will can bring some benefit to them. So, and the next thing, what's going on out there in the YouTube streets? There's a recession, YouTube recession kind of flipping. So some people are putting in the work, but since them become monetized, them only say look at one jingling on the dinero coming out them pocket. Then they say nothing more. But what these people who monetize don't realize, all right, not even the people who monetize, but those who watch the videos. Sometimes the newer person who get monetized, them automatically get longer videos on their thing, like a hour. Because I have come across 1 hour ad. So wow, 30 minutes. While the bigger boys, the bigger guys in the YouTube streets get some little couple minutes ads on their thing. So that's kind of deter people from watching certain ads. because is the ads really make the people get a revenue, them and the ads then make you get a little change in your pocket. So, you know, what to say? Because the thing change up so much. Them I use a powerful algorithm or watch everything and start to study you and to find out who exactly the video should go to. I always do my local investigation, check out what I go on in this YouTube streets. And that's what I've come across. And that's why a lot of people get banned from YouTube streets a couple months now. They want to know if you're a real person. Because you have a lot of faceless channels or channels that come up where um, I use like AI generated stuff. You have to just figure out how to handle or manage this new development and thing. So that is just my 2 cents before we start off the devotional. Well, in the third world, we still use we change button. Yes. Wow, wow. We still use we change button and thing. I want to tell you, say there's a lot of them out here. Only for microwave like this out here. No touch button, that's what you say. Or touch, no, none of that. Beer, spin the dial and thing. Oh, no, I should have gone down and look at it yesterday. When are this? I want to know something. Why people, you tell them something, you see a problem about a matter, and you tell your supervisor, say, some electrical issue going on a compound. Remember, who work here don't have no tester to test anything, but you can't use your eyes. Eyes can't tell us there's something wrong with you, so get a technician to come and sort out the problem. Much weeks now, people have not send nobody, and the light situation I get worse and it flicker at times. So it's some overloading go on and things. So, you know, why it takes so long to make certain movements. We don't want the electrical fire break out on the compound. Don't lose your hope too. 2 Corinthians 4 7 to 18. Memory verse Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts I think towards you, said the Lord, that of peace and not that of evil, to give you an extended end. Okay. A motivational quote says, to live without hope is to cease to live. Yes, we have kids to feed, of course. Have roots and things. So I look extra bulk here right there. And if we can come across it by doing the right thing, that is fine. Yes, indeed. There. Yes, indeed. All right, I'm sure I'll reach you now. Hmm. All right, prophetic. All right, we read motivation word this and prophetic word. No. Your hope will not be dashed, and your expectation will not fail. In the name of Yahshua. The message for today is the word of the Lord is coming to you today to strengthen your heart in case you are discouraged, disappointed, overwhelmed, or in any way losing the grip on life. There is still hope for you. All hope are not lost. As long as Yahshua lives, hold on still and you will be able to see tomorrow. He is our sure anchor when there is storm in the sea. He would not allow the ship of his children lives to capsize. Sometimes it might look as if he is not there, but only if you believe and trust him, you will soon testify that Yahshua is there when all seems bleak. He is working on your behalf and watching silently to see how much you believe. He will never allow you to be destroyed, no matter the situation. Simply believe. Hey, greetings. What going out there? Hope is the intimately connected to faith. When your faith is dwindling, then you are losing hope. But when you are strongly holding on and not letting go, then your faith is strengthened. A hopeless man or woman is a faithless person. I pray your faith will not fail you in the name of Yahshua. The affliction of life are many and deserved, diverse in nature and occurrences, but God is able to deliver his children from all from it all. In the same vein, Yahshua gave us an open check of divine relief in John chapter 16:33. In this world ye shall see tribulation, but being of good cheer, he has settled it ahead of time. You are to enter into that rest with him through faith. Decide today to run back to Yahshua if you have departed and you are feeling and worried, ask yourself, am I forgiven, or have I forgiven anyone who have done me wrong, so that I can reconnect to Yahshua? With him all things are possible. He will restore your hope, renew your strength, and he will be able to achieve greater heights by his grace and power. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31 says, but they that waited on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount upon wings as eagles. They shall run and not go weary. They shall walk and not go faint. Yes, indeed. Let us continue to be hopeful as um, most of the platforms we may have come across. So we kind of divert in and out of the devotional thing is live, you know, content, making content, videos, whether cooking, whatever, podcast or something, to give back to the people. Because we have to just know how to manage the new upgrades to this YouTube streets and so forth. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll give thanks to the Most High for His loving kindness. Worry and anxiety, I am not your candidate. Release me and die in the name of Yahshua. Lord, turn all my impossibilities to possibilities in the name of Yahshua. Powers assigned to make me despondent, lose your hold over me in the name of Yahshua. Yeah, sorry about that. We just look on the monitor while going out the road there. Time much get your Virginia. Better than say. So that's it. Two contract. So you might deliver two to the newspaper. That's what I'm doing. Observe and let me. Anyway, put back the paper in a plastic glass. It was really far. Newspaper and now wait up. What's that? I know. Careful with the newspaper. Suffering, suffering. No, 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 no. So, things I want to do. Right. Let me look for me. Go burn something for them mosquito. Mosquito. Why disturb it? Hmm. Seed in the future. Green maps resilient paths for agriculture sector. I see a civil farm, civil village farms, Sandy Bay, uh, Brady tilling the soil. I see my probably might throw fertilizer or something on the crop. I see that picture here. After Hurricane Melissa caused significant damage to the agriculture sector, Portfolio Minister Floyd Green says the ministry's Build Back Better strategy is focused on planting the seeds of a stronger and more resilient food system anchored in the climate smart farming, expanded storage facility, and faster replanting. At the same time, Green said that under the ministry's immediate recovery efforts, vegetable production could be largely restored within 3 months if the current pace is of input distribution is maintained. However, he noted that yam production is expected to take 1 year or 18 months to return to pre Melissa levels, with egg and banana required more longer recovery periods. Speaking at the latest Jamaica Observer Press Club on Tuesday, Green described the devastation from Hurricane Melissa as unprecedented, eclipsing the damage recorded in recent storms. Initially, estimates place losses at roughly 30 billion, but rapid assessments by the World Bank later doubled that figure to about 60 billion, underscoring the scale of the blow to the domestic food production. Green said farmers have nonetheless shown strong determination to replant despite back to back storms, supported by measures such as free tractor service for the next 6 months and the deployment of new equipment to improve efficiency. However, he stated that bananas will not be imported because of the threat of the tropical race 4 TR4 disease, meaning recovery in that sector will depend entirely on local rehabilitation efforts. Against the backdrop, Green said the Agriculture Ministry's recovery strategy is deliberately designed to move beyond emergency relief towards long term resilience, recognizing that extreme weather events are now a regular feature of Jamaica's agricultural landscape. Centered to that approach is the storage of seeds and fertilizers ahead of the hurricane season, allowing farmers to restart production without delay after any weather event. One thing that we are doing better now, and it's definitely one of the things I have worked on with the ministry, is to prepare for the rainy days. So we know that some form of weather related event is going to impact us every single season. It's either going to be a long drought or it's going to be a torrential rainfall or something will happen. So what we do now is to keep things stored. So we have seeds that we store for the entire hurricane season to see what happens, Green said. Within weeks of Hurricane Melissa, ravaged rampage across a section of Jamaica on October 28th, the ministry began distributing seeds fertilizers to farmers who were abruptly to resume planting quickly, prioritizing short cycle crops to stabilize supplies and prices. He noted that early results are already visible, particularly for lettuce and cucumber, which have already begun returning to the market. That planting effort is also being supported by private sector donations, with Hypro scheduled to hand over vegetable seeds, fertilizers, chemicals, baby chicks, and animal feeds to the ministry today as part of its Hurricane Melissa relief support. Green said the experience has also highlighted a long-standing weakness in the sector, the lack of adequate storage to protect crops once they are harvested. As a result, storage is now being treated as a critical pillar of the ministry's resilience strategy, particularly in reducing losses when storms approach and are impro- and for improving the seed of recovery once they pass. He explained that farmers are often urged to harvest ahead of hurricanes, but without adequate storage facilities, much of the production can still be lost if not moved quickly to market. We have been spending significant resources on storage facilities and definitely sorry, any other weather event of this nature could catch us in a much better condition. We just opened a solar run 20 to 20 foot containerized unit in Flagman, St. Elizabeth, which is kind of one of our big vegetable and fruit areas. Because of the need of the day, we don't want we don't want when energy goes, you have anywhere to store it. And all of our storage that aren't building now will be powered by solar energy, explained Green. Alongside this, Green says that Sussexville Valley facility in St. Elizabeth, which came through Hurricane Melissa with minimal damage, is nearing full operation readiness and will provide significant capacity for cold storage processing. Additional projects at Kirkvine in Manchester and other agro parks are also approaching completion as the ministry moves to ensure that storage facilities is fully integral into the agricultural production rather than treat as an afterthought. Beyond replanting and storage, Green said the ministry is also accelerating training in climate smart agriculture through the rural agricultural development RADA. Everybody looks at RADA in terms of input and what they can, but one of the biggest things that RADA does is training, and we do that consistently through the year, and it's now climate smart training. So we partner with a number of institutions, including the World University School of Canada, and we also do a lot of on nutrition based on this new climate and elevated heat, utilization of water, and new farming methodologies, he explained. He added that efforts are also underway to expand protected agriculture while acknowledging that the existing greenhouses design suffered losses during the storm. As a result, the ministry is reviewing whether current structures are suitable for Jamaica's wind condition, exploring alternatives such as indoor or vertical farming system. At the same time, the ministry is accelerating the expansion of irrigation infrastructure, which Green described as critical to how quickly farmers can recover after storms. He noted that even where crops are lost, access to reliable water often determines whether farms can resume planting within weeks rather than months. Furthermore, Green noted that the sector has been off course, have been on course for its strongest year on record before Hurricane Melissa struck, highlight that the scale of the setback and the potential for recovery is resilient, measured, and maintained. He noted that the ministry's focus is now firmly on ensuring that when the next hurricane season arrives, Jamaica agriculture sector will be better prepared, better protected, and able to recover faster than before. End of article. Mm, 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 mm. A deep horror hit me. Melissa's savagery stuns Jamaican lineman back home on voluntary mission to help restore electricity. Hmm. This thing I just okay, all right. I wonder this thing I just come up on the screen. So. Hey, what's going on? Wow, didn't expect to catch you this at this time of the day. Normally, we do a live stream much earlier. But hi Jay, I'm here. Hi Mike. Okay, but my device is open for you. Okay, preparing for work, so won't type much. Okay, do your thing, my sister. Pick up yourself. Yeah, we'll just read today's newspaper. Is that what would I call it now? Routine. Do my devotional, then I switch into the newspaper reading for my segment. All right. Now the article says in the 20 years, engineer Christopher Bryan worked with light and power company Jamaica Public Service before migrating to Canada in 2012. He has he was part of every team restoring electricity connection after major weather events. But nothing from these experiences prepared him for what he saw in the aftermath of the terror that was Hurricane Melissa when it plunged into Jamaica on October 28th. Viewing from Canada was impactful, but when I came on the ground, the, sh- the show element edited social media content disappeared. There was no soundtrack, no nothing. This is the raw, unedited version, and you look at people and you see the distress before they even say anything to you. You see it, and the story is painted in so many ways. You see the zincs crumpled, not just blown off, sorry. They are reeled up and crumpled up like somebody wrapped them up and threw them aside. So you can't even pick them up to say you are going to use them back, Brian told the Jamaica Observer in describing the stark difference between viewing the devastation from his home in Canada and seeing it in person. He said, through comfortably escorted in his own life career here, he could not resist the pull to return home and voluntarily to offer his services as his former employer faced the daunting task of restoring power to hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans after the Category 5 storm made landfall on Jamaica's southwestern coast. Several conversations later with the light and power company, Brian, who took unpaid leave from his job in Canada, landed in Jamaica on Sunday, November 16th, ready to do what he had done following Hurricane Ivan in 2004, Dean in 2007, Hurricane Sandy in 2012. On a foray into St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland 2 days after landing in Jamaica, the seasoned engineer, gutted by what he saw, knew he had made the right decision. Speaking with the Observer after 10 days working tirelessly to return power to the communities on the island's southern end, as project manager from a team of men, Brian shared starting memories of scenes when which will be with him forever. Going through St. Elizabeth, just looking at the landscape, it was really distressing and devastating. Brown, 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 vegetation stripped bare of green leaves. But the people were my concern. The ladies that were on the street with their children, the rubble behind them showing where they once had business or lived or dwelled. They were there with their children on their shoulders, sleeping on the street. I was driving at approximately 50 miles per hour, and ladies were literally coming towards the vehicle in order just to get someone to stop, he said. For Brian, going through the area at nightfall, which made the devastation grimmer, was added to everything necessary at his last push. The darkness to the mm, wow, of what was left of communities. If you bring food to them, there is no place to sleep. Generally, there's no father, and no, there's no house. So there is no protection. I'm saying you can go and abuse anybody. It was an open field. Jesus have mercy. I thought about my family. I thought about my girls, and the tears welled up inside me. May I drive, but may I tell you, I feel sad that day, he told the observer. A deep horror hit me, and I said, my God, I am really glad that I came with the heart to help because I'm telling you, if this doesn't solve real quick, this can turn into like the things we watch on TV about Africa. We can see it getting like that. So that was heart wrenching for me when I took when I took that coming from the inside, the married father of two girls shared. The following morning, Brian left to work with a will. I woke up Wednesday morning, November 19, and I was off to duty for GPS. I got my brother's vehicle and I turned up for work in Manchester. By the time I got up there, Spalding had light. Peart Junior Hospital was without light, but Spalding Town had restored power. I started from Spalding Square, and just for the rest of that entire week, I work my way to Cave Valley in St. Anne and beyond. We left up Cave Valley. We lit up Cave Valley. Alexandra was lit. We had the hospital there lit. And then we moved into Manchester, where we were working in Wildonston until we got to a place called Racecourse, Brian told the Observer. I miss you, Mike. Oh, Mike is there. Okay. Alrighty. Which one regional? Mm, For the man who had spent 17 days after Hurricane Ivan giving oversight to the team assigned to the 6 kilometer of distribution circuit stretching from Harborview in St. Andrew to Norman Manley International Airport, and weeks in Portland after it was devastated by Hurricane Sandy. Input needed for the post Melissa restoration boot was next level. Dean wasn't bad, it was disorganized. The impact to the people was more scattered. Sandy, that was a very serious impact, but it was concerned. It deleted Portland and then spread out a little bit across the rest of the island. Hurricane Beryl, July 2024, brushed again the tail of St. Elizabeth and western Jamaica. Now, when Melissa landed there, that is why I know this is distressing because the system was already shaken by Beryl, just like trying to recover the probable about 80 to 85% recovered, and Melissa comes with more devastating impact, he reflected. Melissa has taught us that the systems we build must not just be robust, but also carry the risk of insurance because things just get even expensive. This is teaching us a lesson about how to build stronger homes, he said, while noting that it is, in his opinion, JPS had learned its lesson well from its experience in previous catastrophes. So we are seeing a more agile JPS. I'm seeing a more methodological or strategic JPS, even under pressure. So, like the politicians and different people are ridiculing JPS, saying two poles broke and you can't get no light. But JPS has to be deliberate to bring customers back online. Brian said, explained that engineers have had to rebuild entire system in order to restore connections safely. That has distributed to JPS, taking a longer time to restore electricity to some communities. Not to be forgotten or minimized, he said, is the sacrifice of the workers themselves who are just as impacted by all the variables normal citizens experience after a storm. When Ivan came, I had two children. One was a baby, and I didn't have light for about 17 days. When I was restoring power elsewhere, my wife was home, no water. The sacrifice was tremendous because while I am out there working, I am going home to darkness, he shared. He remembers all too well also that while he undertook restoration work in Jamaica in the aftermath of Hurricanes Sandy, his family, who he had just returned from settling in Ajax, Canada, were facing the efforts of the system which had moved on from Jamaica. I left my family in Ajax. That hurricane went all the way north. It traveled very, very far. People were surprised. It was ridiculous to reach that far. It was really a phenomenon. My family, I remember, they said they were locked in watching this thing coming. It was an emotional, challenging time. Plus, I was separating from the company for 20 years. He shared. It was. It has been that kind of atmosphere that I came up in terms of restoring the country. So it has always been a case of selflessness, and that is the greatest good philanthropy always. when it comes to restoration, always putting everything into it and always coming up with solutions. Brian said, who has now checked up 175,200 hours, equating 7,300 days or 20 years and 2 weeks of official service time with the utility company, told the Observer. In the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, JPS capacity was initially bolstered with 170 linesmen from overseas. An additional 300 are scheduled to arrive within days to speed up power restoration, with the target being 90% restoration this month and full recovery by January 2026. And you see a picture there with him and his a grateful customer in Manchester. Right, end of article. Well, yeah, he did a fine thing, you know. He's an engineer, but him love him island, so him come and help out. That's a beautiful thing. And left him family in Canada and come to Jamaica to help out, bring back power to certain communities. Arise and happy with Save the Children school tour. Go and turn off some of these lights. So people will not have to spend all their money on current coming January. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Yeah. People who get a chance to travel down to St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. Seeing the devastation on the telly, you have a different feeling when you go and see it live. But through me live through Gilbert, when me see up on the screen, I know how it's there. Cause I smell, I go through Gilbert already. Yeah, man, I go through Gilbert, so I know. I remember when I have light for months, and as Lloyd Loving there singing that one of them song, a beer bully beef, full up with structure. Yeah, man, beer bully beef and tin mackerel were to be consuming back then in 1988, 30, 38 or so. Something like that. 37, 38 years ago, something like that. Yeah, so I'll find the next article here, try to read it for the people. Excuse me. Why when me I do the live stream, all type of things start to I give a little problem. All right. All that. Oh, oh, so my friend yesterday, she was walking and eating her burger. It looked like she not eat this morning. Yeah, man, yesterday she did walk and I eat. So she walk and I take out her chips and out of the bag and I eat her chips. Yeah, man. So some people have to do it to know them I come and work. I watch the people in my pass on the monitor. So watch them a pass the gate. So I see one them pass going up, and I see one them a pass come back down. Yes, reggae recording artist Il Ilron Clark recently collaborated with Royal Rotary Club of Ligani and plans for the Save the Children campaign school tour. Aimed after his 2022 single Save the Children, the tour saw the singer and the club visiting various schools connected to with students through music as well as parent workshop in celebration of Parent Week. I decided to do the school tour because I believe music is a powerful tool to inspire and uplift the youth. Reggae especially carries a message of strength, love, and resilience. And I wanted to bring that energy directly to the children where they are every day at school. Hilron said, is run, said, president of the Rotary Club of Ligani, planned Dr. Carleen Graham highlighted the significance of this partnership. The collaboration emerged originally from a conversation Hezron and I were having. We were talking about the song and the work the Rotary Club was doing at the time. Fill a backpack, make an impact. A day, a back to school project. This it was during that what is called maternal and child health month in Rotary. He wanted to bring the message of saving the children through the song to schools, and I wanted to expand the club's focus, so we both agreed and partnered. Partnership was a good fit, Dr. Graham said. Starting at Lotus Brantic Clovelly Primary in November 19, the tour continued at other schools, including New Providence Primary School, Haile Selassie High, describing it was a truly uplifting. Elron is pleased with the response. Children were attentive, enthusiastic, and open hearted on this tour. The vibes were great, the energy was high, and they truly connected with the song and the stories behind them. You could see it in their faces that the message was landing the artists express. This is just the beginning, said Dr. Graham, revealed plans for the event to continue annually. Would like to make this an annual event and include more schools. This can be considered a pilot project so we get a feel for it and work out the kinks. It's it is a part of a larger program where we combine anti-bullying through our peace and conflict resolution area of focus and literacy project at the New Providence Primary. It all ties into for overall better society, Dr. Graham continued. End of article. Over the weekend. Okay, what is now finding light after the storm? Let's see what this one says. Dear editor, as we wait for it to load up. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry about that. I just forgot about the light there. Forgot about that light. And the time I get too bright when I have the light on, be a current. You know, utility price out here kind of expensive. Yes, indeed. Finding light after the storm. Dear editor, as the Christmas season approaches, many Jamaicans are struggling to find their festive spirit in the wake of Hurricane Melissa devastation. Countless families in the western parishes are still rebuilding their lives. Out of respect and solidarity, several companies have cancelled down, scaled down their Christmas parties, um, deriving resources to support recovery efforts. While this generosity reflects the hearts of the Jamaican people, it has also left many feeling conflicted, unsure how to celebrate while others continue to suffer. Feelings, guilt, or sadness during the season is natural. Seeing others in pain can make joy feel misplaced. It's important, however, to acknowledge these emotions rather than suppress them. Mm. As I often remind clients, joy and compassion can coexist. Finding small moments of happiness doesn't mean forgetting those who are hurting. It helps us stay emotionally strong enough to continue helping. Mental health experts agree that maintaining traditional traditions and positive connections after trauma is vital for emotional recovery, especially for children. The World Health Organization emphasized that critical cultural practices are shared. Okay, cultural practice shares traditional strength, resilience by fostering belong, belonging, stability, and hope. Similarly, the American Psychological Association APA highlights that routines and family rituals provide predisposable, reduce anxiety, and nature's emotional well-being during crisis. Even simple acts like putting up a Christmas lighting, attending church service, or preparing Christmas dinner can help children, adults alike regain a sense of safety and normality. This year's celebration may take new norms, smaller gatherings, shared meals with neighbors in need, or collective acts of giving. Many are turning festivities into opportunities to uplift others, a reflection of what Christmas truly represents. When we share with what we have, we remind ourselves that joy and kindness can coexist even after hardships. As Jamaica continues to rebuild, the message of Christmas feels especially meaningful. Light sharing, light shining in darknesses, hope renewed through compassion, and strength found in togetherness. It's okay to feel sadness, and it's okay to smile too. Celebration doesn't have to be grand. It just needs to be genuine because even after the storm, there's always someone to celebrate. End of dear editor. hmm This person, what she writes, it makes a lot of sense. Presents above you R&B. Okay. Yeah, the police them a put on some event out the Harbor View. JCF represents JCF presence at Harbor View. R&B commendable. A policeman on a motorcycle is seen with a face covered as he directs traffic past a disabled truck recently. Okay, another from the Dear Editor. I'm writing to express sincere gratitude and appreciation for the consistent presence and excellent work of the Jamaica Constabulary Force members and managing traffic flow at often challenging Harbour View roundabout, especially concerning the morning rush hour traffic. Organizing from St. Thomas. Okay. So it was a years now, me not come from the end there now. When I used to travel from St. Thomas coming into Kingston. So I don't know, probably more people gonna live out that side, so they must say, well, traffic will come in to the Harbour roundabout there. Hmm. For a long time, we, the commuters traveling from the east, St. Thomas and Portland, faced significant delays and frustration at this critical junction. It was common for the journey from the vicinity of St. Blythe Church and school to at the roundabout to take an extra 20 minutes, a clear indicator of the bumper to bumper traffic and inefficiency. Wow. Since the sustained deployment of JCF personnel to actively direct and manage the flow, the situation has dramatically improved. The movement of traffic is now noticeably smoother and more efficient, effective, efficient. Sorry, can I say effective? Mm. This intervention is just about reducing travel time. It is also about introducing order and discipline. The presence of the police has also been instrumental in reducing the instant careless and impatient driving, such as cutting in and illegal maneuvers that previously exacerbate the congestion. In a time when the police force is regrettably sometimes viewed through a negative lens, this daily positive and highly effective action by the JCF is an extremely welcome gesture. It is a powerful reminder of the essential positive role of the police and what they play in our daily lives and communities, going above and beyond simply law enforcement to ensure public convenience and safety. This effort by the JCF at the Aberview roundabout is a superb example of community policing and proactive traffic management that deserves widespread recognition and commendation. I urge relevant authorities to ensure this deployment is maintained. We truly appreciate this commitment and hard work out there daily. End of article. Mhm. Yes, indeed. All right, my people. We're, we are still here. All right. All right. Wow, wow, wow. All right, we never bargain to do any long thing with us. Come out to show our face. Later on, we'll come out and do a more longer segment. But anyway, take care of yourself. We're gonna end this live stream right here. Big up to my sister Sidoni. Big up yourself, my sister. And those who forward out and thing. Yeah, man, we'll give thanks. All right, take care. Much love and respect from I to you. Salute. Peace.